Hello, people. How's it going? I wish I could make the screen bigger. Well, anyway. It's going to be a very short one, probably 10 minutes. I'm just doing something to do something because I'm trying to not have so much time in between posts. I'm going to start just doing 10-minute nothingnesses. I'll think of something, but anyway. My writing projects that I've up to this point, because I've done some writing, I've mostly been doing poetry. Rewriting poetry from two separate books of poetry that I started. Well, the book of poetry, Flights of the Soul, was my Christian poetry, spiritual Christian poetry, which I started, well, 40 odd years ago, and I stopped writing it in 1999, and then I kind of wrote a few of them a couple of years ago. There was over 100 of them. I mean, there was over 100 of those poems, and I'm slowly trying to rewrite them onto the blog site. So I did Jacob's Dream, which is about Jacob's dream with the ladder and about all the promises God made and stuff. And that one I posted already. That's from that book of poetry. I did 3 other poems from a different book of poetry called Book of Poetry Reflections of Wandering Mind, which I started writing after 1999. And that stuff has nothing to do with Christianity. It's spiritual at some points, and it's mostly mythology and stories and other odds and end poems. But it's a completely different from the first book. But I've done 3 of those so far. I placed 3 of those on the blog site for the same reason I did the other book I mentioned. I'm trying to rewrite them and put them on the blog site. I Journey to Valhalla, which is Norse mythology. Solitude, which is also Norse mythology. And the one I just finished today is an erotic poem I wrote 10 odd years ago, I think. So I want to see if I can write one. And that's called Sweet Sense of Youth, which I'm sure people aren't going to like. Well, some people. Some people might. I like it. But then again, I wrote it. But that's kind of what I've just been writing since the last time I think I mentioned writing. Mostly just dealing with poetry. I started and finished one of my one-act plays. It's also on a flash drive. Poetry play flash drive number 1. There's 28 plays on this flash drive. And the Children of Mary one-act play I just got done posting on the blog site after finally getting it done. I don't remember why I wrote it originally. I think I just wanted to write something about her and about her kids and Jesus and James. Mostly it's about Jesus and James. I mean, I always find those interesting. But yeah, that's been posted on the blog site after being rewritten a little bit. I've just started rewriting another play from the exact same flash drive. It'll be Dresden, about World War II, about 1948, Israel becoming a country again, the Holocaust, some other issues. So I just started that, so that's what's happening on that score. But yeah, I wrote this a while ago, but not very long ago. But I'm trying to rewrite my plays onto the blog site as well. I mean, I have 20 bloody things. That's not counting, I think, 3 others that are not on the blog site at the on the flash drive. That I haven't even gotten onto the flash drive. I have over 30 plays to take care of, but some are one acts of shortness, some are one acts of long. One of them that isn't on there is a 2-act play called The Fatherland, and yes, that's about the Holocaust. Or at least the Germans. About the Holocaust. We'll just leave it at that until I get a better understanding, because I'm kind of rewriting it as I'm writing it, because that's just the way it goes when you're a writer. You do a lot of rewriting, whether you like it or not. overall, writing hasn't been too bad, actually. I mean, I've been mostly doing poetry for the month of August. Now it's September now. The last 2 weeks or week? Yeah, about a week and a half anyway. I think it's been about a week and a half since I started doing the poetry thing and then the play thing. The Philemon commentary is about 75% done, give or take about 10 degrees. It's either 65% done or 75% done. But that's going slow, but it's getting there, and I'm not minding it too much. I am going to talk about the very few books I did buy. I bought a few books. I didn't buy very many. I gotta get more organized over here. What little space I have. I think it went in the trash can. Okay, let's see. So I gotta check something. See if somebody texts me back. And yes, I'm gonna be doing this a lot because it's my YouTube channel. I can do what I want. Having a conversation with somebody about tarot cards and honesty. And I'm always honest with that way. But this book about the Enola Gay, the one who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, was it Nagasaki? I always get those mixed up. I'm sorry. I always do, and I probably always will. Hiroshima. I haven't read it yet. I know nothing about this book. Well, I know the functory things about the story. Looks like a good book. Closing the Circle. This is part 3 of his trilogy about the war in the Pacific. I have part 2. I like World War II. I've always liked World War II. I think either the Civil War or the World War II became my first main interest. Excuse me. I mean, I when I was living on Okinawa, I think I had more of an interest in World War II, of course, because I was there. That was the last major battlefront of the war. The Secrets of Judas, the story of the misunderstood disciple and his lost gospel. This is actually a fairly good retelling of the historical Judas, the biblical Judas, the Gnostic Judas, which is what the Gospel of Judas is a Gnostic gospel. He does a pretty good job of being fair on both sides. I mean, he just tells a straightforward story, straightforward history. I like it so far. I like it what I've read. I've read bits and pieces, but I like it. It was there. It was $3. Who am I to say no to $3? And there's George Frederick Handel, who does do my favorite oratorio, Handel's Messiah. I read this book a while ago. I like this book. I was glad I found it again. I like Handel. I don't like all this music, but then again, I like Handel's Messiah. It's probably his one piece I like more than anything else. But he was interesting. I liked him. And then, sorry. It was a very busy day at work today. The Pirate Hunter, the true story of Captain Kidd. And no, I doubt very seriously they meet Evan Costello in this book, which, by the way, is a very good, funny movie. If you ever want to watch good comedies when they were actually funny, Evan Costello meets Captain Kidd was not a bad movie with Charles Lawton. But anyway, this is a Captain Kidd. I know very little about pirate stuff. And no, I don't consider the Pirates of the Caribbean as actual history. It's a movies. But Captain Kidd's always been interesting. Pirates are always interesting. I would just call them, politicians. Anyway, that's that for that. I think I have returned to doing a Hillsdale class, online free Hillsdale class on mathematics and liberal education. And I know what they mean by liberal education. They mean classical liberal education, which is not the same thing as the socialist, totalitarian, communist nonsense that's being taught today as liberal anything. This is more about libertarian education. I always consider being a libertarian as being a classical liberal. I would be considered a classical liberal. But I am not a liberal of the 21st century or the 20th century. They're communists. They're socialists. They're totalitarianists. and they basically want to run your life. Classical liberalism is seeking an education, studying things, and so on and so forth. That I am. I am a classical liberal, not a modern one. But I am a libertarian. I like libertarianism. I think it's far more classical liberals used to be. But I'm never very good at political stuff. I never have been. Let's see, what else? I told you I was going to keep this short. Mainly because I'm falling asleep while I'm talking. I used to do wholesale classes a lot. A few years ago, I did a lot of them. I'm returning to them because I do like them. I just stopped watching them and I stopped doing them. And I don't know. Maybe I got bored. I don't know. But I've returned to doing that. I'll do some other classes later. There are some other free online classes or courses you can take. I may return to those as well because they're kind of fun. I like classes. I like taking classes online. I like learning new and different stuff. And good grief, I have a lot of books. The Dallas Theological Seminary. I used to take classes, but I was not impressed with their online classes. And to be honest, I'm just not impressed with their online classes. I don't want to say that they're boring, but they're not as in depth as they could be. And they're just not. Okay. Apparently no one's responding. That's good. Anyway. But yes. In closing, I know it's already over 10 minutes, but that's okay. Tomorrow I should have part 2 of my ideal church talk. Part 2. I thought about doing just 3 parts for them. They have to do it more than just 3. But I've been thinking about it the last few days. Excuse me. It was a long, busy day. But I will have that one up tomorrow. I have been thinking about ideas, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to try to get across. That'll be a video just by itself on just that one subject. But I'm going to post this now because I don't want it to be very long. I just want to get into the habit of doing this more often. If I'm losing interest in Facebook, and I really want to not be on it as much. Facebook bores me, people. I'm sorry. Not all of it. It has its uses, but it's a waste of time. It becomes a waste of time. But anyway, that's it for the moment. I should have that other video up tomorrow. I told Mike I would, so I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow. Yes, I farted. Get over it. Let's see. Something else. I wrote a list. This is what this thing was for. I can at least remember what I was going to talk about. But yeah, I should have that up tomorrow. I have to do a little quick research first on a few things. So I will post this. You people behave yourselves, because you know I full well will not. I don't know how. Take it easy. I will talk at you later. Behave yourselves. Have a good day or night.